Welcome, everyone. Tanya and
Oh, Norma Jean.
Adventures for Connections. So we would love for everyone to call in a energetic healing send support for Thomas. He's not feeling well. So he's had a major fever and is going through an upgrade. So we just want to send him lots of love. And yeah, absolutely, Tango. Must be an awesome upgrade. Yeah, for him to have this, it's rare. So something's going on, and as we all know, in this current time, there's a lot going on energetically, and so it's going to affect everyone a little differently. And we encourage you all to really pay attention at any given moment to how you are feeling. So, how is everyone feeling today? I can say that I'm feeling grateful at the moment because as I was walking through the apartment we're in, I got St. Elmo's fire. And then I walk outside and there's a rainbow on my leg. And as I'm playing this song, Norma Jean looks up and comes up with a message for me, which was quite profound. She's like, "What message?" Let's read that one out because I think it's relative to everyone right now. And we really want to encourage you guys to pay attention to what comes in for songs, music, statements, because you will be reminded of things. For me, St. Elmo's, I'm like, that movie has not popped into my head. That never pops into my head. So when it's something that's so far out in left field, so to speak, you know that it's something really unique. And let's call it that. And so we're going to share with you this reading because I thought it was really important. And it may resonate, may not. St. Elmo's fire is a weather phenomenon involving a gap in electrical charge. It's named after St. Erasmus of Formia, also called St. Elmo, the patron saint of sailors. We're right by the ocean. The appearance of this phenomenon was often interpreted by sailors as a good omen, and St. Elmo was seen as their protector. In metaphysical and spiritual context, St. Elmo's fire can be seen as a manifestation of raw energy and a symbol of enlightenment or illumination. It's a reminder of the powerful forces that exist within nature and by extension within ourselves. Take note. It can be seen as a representation of the spark of life and consciousness, a visual example of the energy that flows through all things. In terms of etiology, St. Elmo's fire can be interpreted as a sign or message from the universe. Depending on one's etiology number, it might be seen as a call to harness one's inner energy, to focus on spiritual growth, or to pay attention to the natural world and the forces that govern it. It could also be a reminder to stay the course through turbulent times, much like sailors who took comfort in its presence during storms. For someone with an etiology number based on their birth date, like you, Tanya, with the number 7, being born on the 7th, the appearance of St. Elmo's fire might resonate with the number 7's association with spirituality, introspection, and the quest for deeper understanding. And it could also be seen as an encouragement to delve into the spiritual or metaphysical aspects of life, seeking out the truths that are often hidden or obscured. Absolutely. And so take what resonates for you on that, but really wanted to share that because often we get these messages and we don't know what they mean or what they are. It'll come a lot of the time in a song, a verse, something someone else says, or that you catch in a clip. So when you're the observer and you're really paying attention, and even a bird at the end of listening to that song was like, "Yeah, that's it." I was like, "I hear you." And there's like a rainbow coming through. Like, it was quite profound. It was really beautiful. So I just wanted to share that to remind everyone to look within. And then on that note, it'd be really cool, Norma Jean, if you shared a little more on etiology, because she's the one that's tapped into that. And so unlike human design, which is amazing and has gateways and it has this, that has that. And I know quite a few people really resonate with it. For me, I've done the human design, but etiology was like a gobsmack. Like, oh, that makes so much sense. Can you share a little more?
Well, being the dynamo that you are, being a number 7, and a part of, to understand the number 7 would be to understand the number 4, which brings in a story, which I'm not going to tap into here, but it's about Rahu and Ketu. And Rahu is the illuminating part of the moon, as the Ketu is the dark side of the moon. But to understand that would be to understand that. Can y'all still hear us? Let us know, please.
Yeah.
That Rahu and Ketu represent a dragon, and it represents a dragon due to this story. And if y'all want to know about this story, just let me know, and we'll go from there. So it's about a dragon being beheaded. And so Rahu is the head, where Ketu, number 7, is the tail. So what genealogy does, as I have spoken to before, is it gives you knowledge. It gives you information to be able to use basically the knowledge that it represents, as far as what your spirit number, your psychic number rather, and your destiny number come into, but yet understanding that even on this cosmic wheel of manifestation in this realm, it also represents that, on that metaphorical level, that Sunday through Saturday have a significance. They each have a number. With those numbers, there's corresponding planets with those, except for somewhat the Rahu Ketu. And how this plays out is that it gives you something to grasp, so to speak, that gives you more of the knowledge of the understanding of who you ultimately are, why you've made the choices you've made, why you have lived the life that you've lived up to this point, and what is there more to come by understanding the psychic number and your destiny number. And it gets even deeper and even more significant than that. So as we go along, to understand what's taking place is to understand here in this realm, this is our metaphorical realm. Okay. The realm of the manifest is a metaphoric. Although you are experiencing this on a level of tangible, on a level of manifestation where your thoughts become something that you can feel, something you can touch, something you can create, because of elements, because the elements that makes up who you are in the being in which you are with, these elements do the same thing. As I've spoken to before, the elements are the genie in the bottle. And as you understand and gain the knowledge and the understanding of what genealogy represents, it breaks it down all the way from understanding who you are to understanding, the minerals, the stones, your hurts. And it also goes into helping you understand levels of areas that you can go into that you may find to be something for you to tap into, so to speak, because of the number that you are associated with. So it gets very profound. It gets very in depth to have this information, because the information gives you knowledge about self. And with that knowledge, then what happens is you begin to embark upon wanting to know more about who you are, what you're capable of, your strengths, your values, your worth. So it's a great part of an understanding that we all seek to want to know. Since I started this at 33, I really didn't have this, because even though I understood numerology and I understood a little bit about astrology, until it was hard to a level and degree, because you had to find a way to bring that together, and not all the information was provided. And then if there was the information that was out there, it was spread out, where it was very time consuming at the time. Ooh, I'm getting a ringing in my ear. So with genealogy, it's all there in one. And that's the beauty of what genealogy does. It gives you more so to speak, more than just a handful. It gives you a fulfillment of the understanding of who you are.
And it's actually more than that. So I just want to add on to that because it's a beautiful description, Norma, and you're always so good at that. And everyone's saying, how does she remember this stuff? She must have a bigger iCloud than everyone else. I'm like, Norma Stein. Yeah. So she consumes and holds data like nobody else I know. Yeah, she's a sponge. Not SpongeBob, but a sponge. Yeah. And, I sponge in a different way. So we all have our own way of learning. So never compare yourself to anyone else. And I just want to add for the genealogy that we chose when we were coming in. We chose this genealogy, and this is why it's so critical. It's not just, oh, you're a dragon, you're Chinese, or you're this, or you're that. This is like back to the origin of when you came in and what you chose and why you chose it, which is what's so very important as we try to understand what we're dreaming about every day. What are we here to do? And I just want to remind everyone, because I was reminded today, that this is the dream. This is not the real. This is the dream. This is not you. This is not who you are. Right? And so remember this, because this is not everything. Please like the video. Please share it out if it resonates. And please make sure to comment afterwards. It really helps with the algorithms to bring in more souls. We had a team meeting today regarding how we're moving forward, and it's going to be a lot of mini courses, mini learnings, 15-minute increments of learning for you each day. So that when you leave us on these lives, you've got something to guide you through the week, and then boom, you get to come on and talk about it all together. So is your dreams your reality? No, not necessarily. So when you're resting and you're going out, it's a weave. You have many, many, many timelines here, all going on at once. It's why I always encourage you to call your energy back to you. And quite often when we're dreaming, my understanding at this point is to collapse timelines so we can choose this as our highest and move forward with the most of us here. This is why I always say, call all your energy back to you. I call all my energy back to me through all space, time, and dimension. I call all my energy back to me through all space, time, and dimension. I call all my energy back to me now through all space, time, and dimension. So be it and so it is. So be it and so it is. So be it and so it is. This is still a dream. This is still an experience. We chose to come in as souls, to have soul growth, to have this opportunity to expand our soul. And we choose the hardest timeline, so to speak, to come into so that we may expand that more. Cured by Canicus, and now is the dream. It's all a dream right now. We don't know our reality until we're connected back in. I feel so much my dreams are real, and the wake up to now, I'm confused here. Yeah, absolutely. You want to add to that? Because I know you got something.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna tap into this, because as you're talking about this, let's kind of tap into what is a dream. Okay.
There we go.
So a dream is just a state. Okay. Here in the manifest, this goes so deep. This goes so profoundly deep in the understanding, as much as I possibly master conveying this message to y'all. It's quite difficult because it's hard to put words to how to explain a knowing, how to explain a truth of a knowing of what I've come into. And English is probably one of the most difficult languages to express this with, because you have one word that has so many meanings. That's the reason why. Yeah, it's intentionally, and let us go down and confuse them. And with that, what they meant was confuse them by altering their language, by bringing in another region's language or another ethnic group's language and adding to the one that existed there, then confusing them. So when we talk about a dream, whichever one it is, whether it's here or whenever this vessel goes to rest, because this vessel needs rest because it is a manifest. When you understand the two realms, first off, let's just understand the two realms that exist, because is a multitude of them. Believe me, because there's not just one earth. There's not just one country, so to speak. This goes so profoundly, it's so expansive that as you choose to gain this knowledge and this information, just to expand upon just the truth of who you really are and what you represent. The reason why this is more considered the dream world is because this is not where you come from first. However, the beauty about this life and the expression and the experience of it is that we get to traverse too in our knowing, because of how large our being is. Look, y'all sitting here and y'all see me in this form. And although I've been in this form since birth into this time and age, up to this space and time in this moment, I don't see myself as this. I never really have. I've seen such a large being and it becomes so much more magnified and it becomes so much more prevalent as I continue to traverse the world within me, first by recognizing that it had to begin here within here, because I created this while in the womb with the assistance of these gods that are planets. When you become to understand the depthness in the truth of what these gods really truly represent, is they're all elements. They're all a part of this cosmic whole in both realms. It's just in those realms of here, in the realm of the astral, the perspectives and the perception and the knowledge and the knowing and the wisdom are somewhat different yet the same. And I know that it may not make sense. However, as we continue on in this and we provide you as much information as we can through these daily 15-minute increments, where you can take that and just sit with it, understand it, ask the questions of self. What does this mean for me? Because I can sit here and tell y'all all day long about my story. I can sit here and tell y'all all day long about what my experiences are. All I can tell you is mine. But what I can tell you is we're all the same from where we come from first. And we're individuated here in this realm so that we may experience ourselves individually as a whole and collective to create an expression and an experience where things like the ones that we speak to of peace and joy and happiness and community and togetherness can be made manifest and experienced here, because it already exists from the other realm. So I just wanted to tap into that while T had mentioned it and convey it as masterfully as I could, so that you may understand that I've said it once, I'll say it again, and I'll say it from here on out. There's so much more to this, and there's so much more to you than you could ever imagine, but it's unlimited and it's profound and it's beautiful. And as you continue to keep tapping into the world that you are, to understand who you are here first, you'll truly begin to understand your purpose as to what you're here experiencing.
Ooh. Can you feel it? There's a beautiful sunset right now. In fact, I'm really going to try and share with you guys. I got all these crystals out. So someone asked if I was doing quantum healing. I'm doing the healing of all, which includes quantum. Oh, that's all right. Hold on. Hold on. You just have to start the cam. All right. Somehow the camera's been unplugged. Yep. There you go. Hold on, guys. We're trying to give you the sunset, And we just need to move the setting. 1 second. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. In our excitement to share with you the sunset, there's a little blackout beforehand, so you appreciate it even more. There we go. Yeah, show them. There we go. Yeah. I can't describe enough how impactful sunrise and sunset has been for us to honor the light. And now we have another full moon coming up. And you did it again.
Sorry.
So, she's making me laugh. It's so good. And we're being authentic, you guys. We're just allowing you to see us as we are. We're really, eventually, maybe one day there'll be some super professional studio, but it's got to be mobile because we're never going to be sitting still, not for some time. So we just want to remind everyone that honoring of the light each day, that honoring of the moon, and where is it? And okay, I'm being told to share this is really important. Everything I do and everything I say is always for the greatest good of all. Okay? The healing I'm doing is, you can call it quantum. I'm guided to specific crystals to bring in to help balance, ground, and support each and every one of you to come up to my vibration so your soul may know what that feels like. And super crown on fire over this because this is my gift, right? This is one of my gifts. So, what I would love for you to take in right now, and I've got mosquito bites all over me, is that one, honor the light. Two, accept any healing you're getting right now. Choose to take it or not. It is totally up to you. I don't need you to type it out. I know who's taking it and who's not. It's fine. And it's not required. It's up to you. So if you're accepting of it. And this whole dimension and what's so important for me is tracking. Nobody is paying attention to each year as they go by and the cycle they go through a year. Follow the moon cycle. Keep a journal. Get up and watch the sun when you can. Watch the sunset. Watch the sunrise. Pay attention to the moon. And if you journal with that, how you feel and what's going on for you, I can tell you right now, every 7 years, we're a new person. So every 7 years, we are a new being. That means people change. That means you can change. Doesn't mean you have to change all at once. It means small incremental steps. You didn't spend a year, 2 years. You spent your lifetime so far getting to where you are. I'm not saying it's going to take that long to elevate, acclimate, or shift how you are. I am saying it's going to take you paying attention to where you've come from and have gratitude for that. And then setting intention and speaking out loud where you would like to go and taking action towards that. And we're really digging into this in the moment with what's been going on for us.
Yeah. So, it's let me give you a type of understanding of a level of a scenario I can provide here to give you maybe an easier way to kind of grasp what I'm speaking to here. So let's say that you're this multiplicity of beings. Okay, to understand what I speak to is to understand the the size of the being that you are. And like I was explaining earlier, even though I'm in this form, I don't associate the being, the truth of who I am as this. This is the micro level to the being that I am. So as I've come more and more into understanding that, and like I said, and come more and more acclimated to the being that I see myself as, why would I limit myself into thinking that this is the only version of me in just this realm or this reality? It's so expansive. This is so unlimiting. It's profound in itself. And, if I was to talk about this 20 years ago, I would have been considered wacky, crazy. But until you have these experiences and you're giving these gifts of knowledge, of the understanding, of the depthness of what this truly ultimately represents, is that when T speaks about, as the body and the vessel is resting and you are what they say is the dream state, your soul travels. It goes, it does. So when she speaks to, the timelines and choosing not to live this timeline or that timeline or this timeline, or you're seeing what other timelines may provide, that, you take that and use that as knowledge and you leave the rest behind, or you just say no to it. So in the way that I've come to understand this, I'm here in this reality, in this form that has the name Norma Jean, and the being keeps coming here back to this very strongly, because this vessel, this form, has recognized the being, the who I am. And so I know that as that continues and gets stronger and becomes so much more tangible, prevalent, and in that connection becomes so much more stronger. What I know I've come into understanding is that any of these other timelines that are taking place, I know that at this point in this space and time, I will remain here. So every day that I open my eyes, I am grateful. I am appreciative. I am joyous. I am happy. I greet the sun every morning.
Roll call.
I am present for roll call, the birds, and whatever other insects that, I can hear. They're there too. And they're rejoicing. They're rejoicing because they see that it's a new day. They made it to another day. So as I continue to understand this at that deeper level, then how I see it is, that's interesting, because I don't know what's happening to the other timelines, which doesn't mean that it's only just on a manifest. Do I believe that there are more than one Earth? Yep. Do I believe that I'm living multiple lives on these other Earths? Yep. So when I look at that, then I say, okay, if I don't want that timeline, I don't know what happens to that being or that vessel or that human, so to speak. All I know is when I come back here and I open my eyes and I get another day, I know this is where I am. So when we look at this and we look at things like this thing called death, which isn't what we ultimately have always been led to believe, but that will come in time, then what I look at it is if I'm choosing to live this life right here, and the being keeps coming back and coming stronger and connecting with this vessel more and more, then there are times that the being, my larger self, is saying, we've chose this, so this timeline is gone.
Right.
So when I look at that, that ultimately tells me, okay, so if people in this reality that I'm in are leaving, is it because the being that they are is choosing a different Earth because that being or that vessel is more aware of itself than it was here? So you see, this is how I perceive things, because this is how I make sense of the understanding of the knowledge that turns to wisdom that I understand this life to be. And to me, that's profound. It's fascinating. So when I see it that way, then I'm like, crap. If y'all don't see me tomorrow, just know it's because there's a greater, vessel or being that became so much more aware that it was just time for me to leave this one so that I could go and be with that one and just meet up. That's the reason why T says, call all your energy back. Because what you're doing is you're bringing it right here, right now to the being that you are here. So you see, you have choice. That's the free will. That's the free will of the vessel. That's more of the free will of the being that you ultimately are. And that's profound. And there's nothing to be afraid of. There's no fear. When you begin to understand it in that way, it's like, wow, there's so much more to this. And I have no fear. For I know, whether I still continue to exist in this realm or not, does not matter. What matters is that I continually to choose if this is where I want to be.
Beautiful. Yes. Hello, Robert. How are you? Question Leanne's asking, and that was beautiful. And yes, she disappears tomorrow. I'll let you guys all know where she is. Okay. And like goes for me, right? It's tag team. Absolutely. Although I got a kiddo here, so I got to pay attention to that right now. Yeah. I want to add to that a little bit. One is the questions coming in. Are the babies being born now in 5D? Well, that's a loaded question because 5D is a state of consciousness. And then therefore, you can be in 3D but still live in 5D. And so depending on the parents of these child, right? And how these children and how they're raising them and the activations they're giving them and the love and space to be themselves, that will depend on that. So remember, we all come in, and I know I choose the hardest timelines to come into because I can handle it. Even though I didn't feel like it in the moment, I can handle it. Thank you, Rebecca. I see 2 huge wings spreading out from your shoulder blades when you're doing the healing. Awesome. Thank you for that. I love that feedback. And I'm only doing the healing for the highest good of all. And actually, Tango, I've got something specific for you. And anyone else wanting and ready, only if your system and your body is ready can you accept this. You can say you accept, but it won't activate you unless to do a little fine tuning on that energy line up the back for the Kundalini Tango that you've been asking for. So you're ready. You can handle it. I wouldn't say that to many people. Not everyone on this call is quite ready. So it will only activate those who are consciously ready and willing to accept this challenge because it's a challenge. I'm not going to say it's a celebration, except it is a celebration once you get past the challenge. So it will be a challenge and then it's a celebration. So all of us are going through these tests throughout life, and part of this is leading up to this. So if you choose, and not everyone is choosing that, so yeah, it's okay not to choose that. Do you want to add to the Kundalini conversation, please?
Okay, so
Boom.
I believe I've gone over this before, so I'll explain again and express my understanding of Kundalini. I have them often. I don't have like one and then I'm done. The greatest in the beauty about the Kundalini rising is there's those epiphanal moments. Those are the profound moments. When you have one of those aha moments of the recognition of something that might have been niggling for so long, and you asked a question, you wasn't able to receive it at the time, but it's like T was talking to, somebody says something, somebody has a conversation with you, and it's bringing up something, and it brings up something that correlates to the questioning that you had. It's a relatable conversation. It's a song, and you're hearing it differently because you're just in a different state. Or it could be something that you're watching on a YouTube or TikTok or whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. but the way that it's conveyed through a tone just triggers that understanding. And that, when you have those epiphanal moments, are Kundalini moments. Because what happens is it's always, for the most part, it's always going up and down. Okay. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be activated just because it's up there. But to have those profound situations where you have such a clarity of the understanding of something where you question it not, those are your more profound Kundalinis. So you see, Kundalini is energy. It's always in motion. It's the Jacob's ladder. But understand that Jacob's ladder doesn't just go in one direction. It goes down too. We have to come down and we have to gather the information from these situations and these circumstances, these experiences, and sometimes it's even the chaos. For the most part, it is the chaos, because that's where you ask the most profound questions about this life. And as you do that, that's collecting the information and sending it up the spine to the processor, where until that triggering, or not that triggering, but where that initial just aha moment takes place, then it's like, wow, I get that. And it's all in how the message is conveyed, whether it's through sound, tone, uh, or something that you may even be seeing, and you're seeing it totally different. It depends on your state of being. It depends on how open you're being to what life is showing you, as far as where the many questions may, uh, may be still there, acting and waiting to be given that answer, whether it's minute or obtuse. You're going to get that answer. It's just how much of a vibratory state are you at in the acceptance of your environment and what it's giving you, to know that the profoundness of that epiphanal moment depends on your vibratory state.
So funny, because right now I can hear my crystal bowl. Yeah.
Is that what that was? Okay. I was like, why does it sound like?
Yeah, so tonight is an opportunity, because Thomas wasn't available and I need to step into this more, the capacity that I do have to assist and heal. I will not put words to it. I will not speak as much to it. I want to know how you're feeling right now. Tango, how are you feeling? Cindy, how are you feeling? Can you guys tell me whether or not you felt that, the energy going on? I know Rebecca saw wings. Absolutely. I can feel it because I'm almost lifting up off the couch. And so there was a couple crystals that came in. I can share with you. This one was ruby. This one was to support everyone on the call who is ready for a third eye activation. Yeah. And I also have some Lemurians, and the smoky Lemurian came in. And this one was just to send healing and love to everyone where you are. Yeah. You'd like to know if you're ready. So Kate, if you're questioning whether or not you're ready, it's okay. Take a break. This is not a race. This is all about each of us having our own experience and going through this and tapping in when it's time. She's had more Kundalini stuff than I. She's also a seer. I'm not. There's this human desire to compare, but then I know things. I have this capacity to like shift things really quickly and make things happen. And we each have these individual gifts, and it's really being grateful for the gifts you do have, and accepting that when we work together and we have different gifts, we all get to rise. And that's why we're here with you guys, to show this as a collective and to make sure that you all understand that you are all perfect right where you are. Yeah, Tango's got god bumps and a lot of yawning. Okay, Tango, I took you up to heart chakra. That was it for now. And so when you're breathing in and doing your meditation, I want you to imagine that pulling up to your heart and then expanding out from there. This will help ground you more in your heart as this occurs for you. I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm not going to say when because I don't know, but I do recommend that you focus on that. And same for you, Cindy. Focus on the heart. Andrew, I want you in your root chakra. I want you so grounded you smell dirt. I want you to go to the center of the earth and wrap around Mother Earth. And this is for most of you. If any of you are living in questioning or living in fear or uncertainty, I want you to ground in. I've grounded you all already. It won't hold once you go back and you go into your other emotions. But you can do this. How? Stand like a tree, firm on the earth. Nothing can move you. And you have a tail that comes out of your tailbone, your root chakra, like a light. And it goes through the earth, all the way to the center of the earth, and wraps itself around whatever you envision there, a crystal, a sun, a light, like yarn until you can't see it. And then you wrap it back up your tail and activate your chakras as you come up and take it up and connect upwards. Now you're grounded and connected. I've got YouTube meditations for this. Absolutely. We've got genealogy courses coming out. She's the one to talk to about that. You got questions about how to better prepare in your life? Great. You got challenges around health or wellness? Talk to me. We got a 2-for-1 special right now, all through until the end of March. You simply go to Adventures for Connection, you book, and you get for 200 Canadian, you get 2 1-hour sessions, and you know there's more to that because we're doing prep before, prep after, and we're never going to ignore your call for a little more support. We're here to help uplift you. And what we really look forward to is more of you being uplifted so then you can be beacons of light for others, because that is the mission for all of us here, is to remember why we're here. We're here to help those that are not aware, those that don't remember. But the only way we can do that, what is with that? Is being a beacon of light, and others come and ask. You plant seeds, but you don't bash them with your truth. You just plant a seed. Oh, interesting. You feel that way. Have you thought about it this way? Because that's all I ever do is give other perspectives, right? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Caroline. Oh, Caroline, for you, you're very grounded. I would like you also to operate more from your heart. So we have our heart is here, and this is our higher heart. I want you to operate more from here. Yeah. Aw. Yeah. Right? Aw. That's beautiful. Okay. Yeah. Be at peace. You know what? When you learn, Caroline, I'm so proud of you. When you learn to observe and not absorb, even when it's family, even when, right? So I'll use a small example. On this trip, my daughter she's got her wisdom teeth coming in and out, and she had this huge mouth reaction where she had like cankers all in her mouth. And it's super common apparently for that age. I don't remember having them at that age, but Norma does. And so it was a week that she was like out, but there was nothing I could do to take it away. So I just kept holding space, sending love. What can I get you? Let's have some ice. Let's do this. And when you don't like over invest your energy, but you just hold that space, yeah, you're just there to hold love, which is all I do on these calls. It is much easier to manage your own energy. So good for you, Caroline. Congratulations. Keep operating from your heart. That's what I'm being told to tell you. Keep operating from your heart. You've got this. Yeah. Rebecca says, I feel this video is going to be so significant for everyone joining in. And as always, I open my phone and you were 3 minutes into this live stream. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Angela, more rooted always. You cannot control the outcome of those around you. So it's more important that you manage your own energy first. And every time you want to go in and rescue, I want you to go, is this the right thing for them and body dose it, right? But you were doing much better than when we first met you. So congratulations on your progress. Remember to carve out some time for you each and every single day. No wheat, no dairy, no sugar if you can. You'll feel better. You won't have the emotional roller coaster. Yeah. You're welcome. And we love you. We missed you last week. We look forward to seeing you again. Does anyone else have any questions? We'd love some more questions for the last few minutes. Concerns, healings. Just going to send Thomas a little more love. And he'll be back. We'll reschedule it. No problem. Yeah. Norma Jean, can you also explain? Let's talk about the sun and what it truly is, and the moon and what it truly is. Because you're awesome at that.
So, what I've come to understand and know what the sun represents for me, like I've said, I can come here and tell you all day long about who I am, who I've become, what I've come to understand about self. This is my story. And the way that I was able to convey my story was to understand all that I could as much as I could gather so that I may have an understanding myself of my purpose, who I am, and what I represent here in this now time space. So for the sun is the illuminator. The sun is that it's a portal of its own. When you get to understand that the sun is a portal, because when you understand portals, in my way of understanding, is that anything that you define as a portal is it equates to an umbilical cord attached to a womb. But that's just how I perceive things. And whether the sun is rising, so to speak, bringing in the new day, or whether it's setting because its day is coming to what you would say an end for the moment, but never goes away. I can see the tunnel, so to speak, of that portal or of that umbilical cord to the womb, so to speak, that the sun represents itself. But you see, the moon plays such a vitally important role itself, because you see, even though we have to go into these darkness or dark time, what you must understand is that's just another state. And the moon is a reflection. It reflects, because you see, the moon doesn't emit its own light. It reflects the sun, because the sun is connected and it has its own connection with the moon, so to speak. Because when you understand what all this represents, is you hopefully, just the fullness of everything that you are created from. To understand this from the micro level all the way to the macro, and this goes for everything that it can be experienced. Everything comes, it either came from a macro level to the macro level to the micro level, and then it expresses itself from the micro level all the way up to the macro. So you see, it's almost like you're taking and you're pulling out this, what was they're not binoculars, but it was the single one the pirates used. The scope. Yeah, it's you can collapse it and then you pull it up. So it's the exact same thing with the macro to the micro. It's so profound. So when you understand that, the sun is just a reflection of you, just as the moon is a reflection of you. And the beauty about the moon, though, is that it's it's dual. Like I said, it's the Rahu, the Ketu. It's the feminine and the masculine. It's the motion of the emotions that we go through, or the motions of what we feel, the in and out, the tides. And the sun is the illuminator. When it is present, it's the illuminator of things. We get to see the vastness of this manifested realm and see it so magnificently clear. And it's just, it's like I said, it's hard to really express with words what I've come to understand. And like I said, this is my story. This is my way of expressing the information that I've come to understand, the knowledge for this realm, to understand more about the being that I am, that brings the two together. So when you look at pyramids and you have point to point, then you begin to understand the in between and how that ebb and flow, the snakes going up the staff. When you really understand that, you'll be like, oh my gosh, it really means that. So it's so profound. It's so beautiful when you come to understand this, and you gain this knowledge, you gain this information, so that you understand the knowledge is there. It's just being able to tap into that knowledge in a way that it comes forth. So it's at the forefront and remains there in your understanding of what it ultimately stands and represents. You're going to have so much more zest and fulfillment and peace and joy about your existence and what you were really here to do. And that's to know you and what you're capable of. And I'm telling you, it's unlimited. And it's fun.
Absolutely. So Caroline's asking, what's the phenomenon of more than one sun or moon in the sky at one time? I've not seen this for self. And so I see photos of it, and whether it's CGI, we don't know. Discernment. So unless we know something for fact ourselves,
I can't speak to it.
we can't speak to
I
it.
won't speak to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I only speak to things that I've experienced. I only speak to things that I've come to know for self.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't speak to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Andrea, for you as well, operating from your heart, getting to know yourself is the most important thing you can do at this time. Hello, ladies.
You be brutally honest with yourself.
Right? Maybe that's exactly what it is. Think about how much controversy there's been. Right? And then let's talk to over on Rumble, Leanne speaking about having eye problems, and MMS, or chlorine dioxide, and Jim Humble definitely comes to mind. And Robert's been taking it, and absolutely feeling a cold coming on. Dose part A and part B in equal drops. Any more than 5 drops of each into water is a good start to take every 8 hours. It will knock out a cold in a day or so, but it also cleans your system. So when our system, and especially around midlife, 40, 50, one begins to have disease within the body. And this is to show you, hey, we're not happy. This needs to be cleared or cleaned out. Yeah, absolutely. And so I did some healing on your eyes. I sent everyone a ton of love tonight. Feel my energy, feel this resonance. You too can have this resonance to operate from, so that no matter what is going on in your life, I consider it an upgrade. Oh, my eyes are bothering me. I must be being upgraded. I have a cold. I must be being upgraded. I'm not suffering. I'm not struggling. Yeah. Your eyes water all the time, Cindy says. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And great. I'm glad you can feel that, Andrea. Absolutely. So, I've sent you all whoever chooses to accept, and it's up to you. I don't request that you accept it. If you do, you do, and if you don't, you don't. It's okay. But if you're ready for it, to feel that beautiful love that you are. Yeah. And Laura says, I feel your energy quite often. Beautiful. Thank you for tonight. You're welcome. Felt it in my heart space. Thank you. You're welcome. This is what we are here to do. And this is what I'll be stepping more into regularly on lives, whether it be here or on TikTok or on Instagram or on Facebook or YouTube. I will be tapping in more. We're going to give you a bit of a schedule. So if you choose to join, you can, or you can watch the replay. I just figured out on Instagram, I can put it up as a reel. I'm like, oh, great. And so really tapping into each of those, because these algorithms that are required, we need to play within a parameter they offer, but I know how to play within it too, and then to elevate it. And so that's the goal. Yeah, absolutely. And also for the eyes, castor oil, especially for dry eyes. Now, it feels a little uncomfortable at the beginning, but you really want to rub it like right in your eye and allow it to soak in. Allow it. So do it before bed so you're not worried about foggy eyes, so to speak, right? Yeah, it'll clear them out, it'll moisturize them. Yeah, it helps with your sinuses as well, as does the lymphatic drainage video I've got. And I'll make sure that's on YouTube and I'll share it out. I know it went on to some socials. So I've done a lot of videos lately in regards to body maintenance, body health. What do I do every morning? How to tap into this. So yeah, absolutely. Aw, thank you, Caroline. Caroline says, definitely get upgrades when watching these shows. It makes me crazy when I miss them. Don't make it crazy. Don't claim that. I'm so grateful there's a replay so I can still tap into this energy. Yeah. Be careful what you speak to. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Let us know how that goes, Caroline, for using the castor oil. You can also put it in your belly button. Remember, your belly button is a huge source of tapping into things. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hello, Heidi. Can you speak to Rebecca a little bit more on enealogy? And then we're going to wrap it up.
It's kind of hard to, let's see, how do I speak more to enealogy? With your birth date, I can give you a destiny, I can give you a psychic. Once I know your psychic and your destiny number, I can give you information about both of those, how they correspond, but also how to utilize the rest of the other genealogy numbers, because that's what wings represent. And those other numbers sit upon your wings, and they sit differently depending on what your destiny or your psychic number is. And your psychic number is the number that is more of speaking about your understanding, more about your being, the bigger being that you are. And your destiny number speaks to how people perceive you, how it just all depends on where you are in your life, so to speak, as to how much the destiny number speaks to you and what you are conveying to others as to who you are. And I can give you when your strengths, what each number represents, given what those numbers are, and give you your strengths, tell you your balance, tell you your imbalances, give you affirmations that will guide and assist you, that you can say daily, that will help you to have a better connection with that higher being that you are, so that you can get more clarity of understanding the voice of that being that you are, and know the difference between the monkey mind, so to speak, and knowing that when your being speaks to you, you will know it by a feeling. Because the one thing that the being will never do is say anything of a negative connotation to you. It will always have a way of giving you constructive feedback because it wants you to know. It wants you to have the ability to have that integrity about self, to have that chance and opportunity to understand it's okay to be brutally honest with yourself and to find out how integral you are in that with yourself first. Let's not worry about anyone else. That's for them to do for them. This is about you. So that way you know individually who you are. Then you'll begin to understand how you are connected with the collective. So etiology just gives you more of a profound, it gives you more of the profoundness of the understanding of the tools you need that will help guide and assist you more about getting to know self and how to traverse this beautiful world and to understand how to bring yourselves to the center of it all, of this world in this realm and of the other realm of which that bigger part of you is waiting for you to know.
Beautiful. All right. I hope that helps, right? You can just go to the website and book with Norma if you want more information. It is 2 for 1. So for 200 Canadian, you get 2 separate visits. And as I said, and so then this will be the next thing we share, which is quite exciting. I came up with this, was showing this to draw this out, to look at the circle, the single circle and everything coming out of it from where you are to where you want to be, where you want to manifest to. And then every day I'm going to add to it. And when it clicks and it lands in this reality, I will let you know because then I'll have it figured out. And I keep snapping my fingers just to tap into you guys again. So yeah. All right, you guys, we got to sign off. I'm going over to be on and support another collective tonight. So I'll be over on channel 17 on Rumble, should you choose to join us. And I'm sending you all tons of love. We love you. You're doing great. And I can feel all of you right now. And it's so amazing because you're so on the cusp of that which you desire, whether it be healing or activations or elevations. You've got this. Don't get caught in the minutia of life. Don't let external BS catch you off guard. All right? And we love you very much.
Y'all, go out and have a look at the moon.
Yeah.
See what reflected on us you can see. And it always has something to show you because you're always wanting to show self more about who you are.
Beautiful. All right.